Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks again so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Another look here at Avalanche, double checking a few things. Wow, $22. I didn't think I'd see the light of day. AVAX trying to make a recovery. Nice little swift little bounce up there through these Fibonacci retracement levels. More importantly, we got that solid bounce off that 1950 range at 0.5 we talked about yesterday. I have my alert set at about 1910, kind of an aggressive consideration for entry at that 0.618 fib level. That didn't happen, of course. A lot of my considerations for entries yesterday for longs just kind of never triggered. And what do you know? Big surprise, being conservative, that happens, right? So folks, if you are going to be careful and wait, you got to recognize there's going to be some missed opportunities. And that's okay. That's all kind of par for the course. What we want to recognize now is, what's new, what's going on. Is this previous $20 mark, or $21.70 rather, going to be a good little bouncing point for us? Generally, that's how it's supposed to work, but it doesn't always work out that way. So let's go ahead and take a look and see kind of what we're looking at here. So AVAX, back-end data, really quick to note, there's a ton of liquidation at $23. I think we highlighted that yesterday, but that has since intensified, and that is important to recognize that that could be a new target, okay? I think that's going to match up with some SMAs on the larger timeframes. We'll double check that here soon. But if we look at the larger last 30 days, there's more liquidation on the downside here, but also some here, maybe about a half, about 300 or 400 million in liquidation between 23 and 23.50. So this area here is going to be highly sought after. Okay, and just to clarify too, if you're going to kind of zoom out a little bit, 23 to 23.50, this guy right here, coincidentally the previous support range, is going to be that new resistance for us. Okay, so just heads up, if you're going to consider securing profits and you're going to hold on to a long, securing profits really close to liquidation, i.e. key level resistance, is a good thought process. Okay. So simple moving averages on the daily time frame. What do we look at here? As per usual, we got our SMA 20 and 50 kind of hanging out there right at that recent point of control. Again, relative recent point of control, keep that in mind. I'll spread this out a little further. The previous support was 25 to 26. It's now a resistance. That's why it's in red. Okay, so I changed the color there. That is our resistance range. So we got resistance at 23 and 25 to 26. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff above us that's going to hold the price action down. However, there's no doubt about it, today's bullish engulfing candle is a very sweet and very nice sign. Okay, does that mean the price is just going to explode? Not necessarily. You got to recognize AVAX just responded well to Bitcoin responding well. All right, Bitcoin bounced from 55,000 to 60,000 almost in the last less than 24 hours. Okay, so yesterday's daily candlestick closed right at 54.5, and then all of a sudden the price just takes off from there. We're up 8% on the day for Bitcoin. It's fairly uncommon, especially considering how hard Bitcoin pulled back. So it leads me to believe that we could see some resistance at 60K, and if so, we'll probably see something similar here. What I'm getting at is that the daily time frame is not by no stretch is there any bullish signs here on the daily. Okay, we got a bullish engulfing candle, that's about the extent of it, but it's that natural response to Bitcoin doing well. Okay, so please try not to get into your head that AVAX is back on track and it's all good. Not trying to be the doom and gloom here at all either. I'm just being very straightforward and realistic with you. There's nothing so far that looks great. 4-hour time frame is going to give us some transitionary identifications that it's looking better. We can see we're over the 20-day SMA. That's a good sign. We can also see as well there's a pretty significant gap here in the last 4 hours from 20.75 upwards to 21.75. It's kind of a round number there, but there's a dollar gap there that could very well get filled. Fair value gaps get filled all the time. Previously, we do see some other fair value gaps from before when the price dropped pretty hard. Those could get swept. Coincidentally, that's right up there, upwards of $23. So there's fair value and liquidation in this range here. Solid chance we're going to see $23.50 or 23 even as the next potential target for AVAX. Okay, just seems likely at that point. We're over 50 on the RSI as well. That's a bullish sign. Stochastic RSI swinging up. Money flow index increasing. These are all positive contributing factors. But again, do not get it stuck in your head that AVAX is an outlier. It's not. Majority of the coins are up 5 to 10% today because they're just following suit with Bitcoin. So please recognize the Bitcoin rejects at 60,000, which is still a distinct probability. I think that we're going to be able to see coins like this pull back as well. However, you got to recognize we just broke through this $21.80/$22 mark. And that should be an effective support level because that was a more recent resistance. Okay, and that's generally how it's supposed to work. Let's take a quick look at the hourly and quickly confirm. We can double check here that we're above the cloud, conversion lines above the baseline, lag and spans free and clear. Everything looks pretty solid. Again, this matches up with Bitcoin too. Bitcoin is showing significant strength right now, and it's just one of those situations where it makes sense for the price action to continue going higher before it comes back down. Now again, complete transparency, we're shorting Bitcoin at 60,000 or 59.8, I think it was. And the reason why is because that's just a key level resistance. Generally, most coins will reject out of those levels, and that's been a point of contention for Bitcoin for a while. Either above or below that, depending on which side you're in, it's either going to work as a support or resistance. So just know if that is the case and Bitcoin pulls back from 60K, we may not see a significant uptick here. We may see this fair value gap filled down as low as like 21.25 and then a response from there. So if we look at the 4 hour here, I think we're going to see something along these lines if Bitcoin pulls back, and then the price action for AVAX to retest this $23 to $24 mark. Again, these are loose estimates and loose numbers, so please don't hold me to this, but I can tell you, generally speaking, these patterns have a tendency of repeating themselves, and it's a pretty AVAX has been pretty consistent about trending down. Let's see if it can be consistent about trending up. All right, so hoping to see some positivity here. The key takeaway here is that AVAX hasn't truly broken its descending trend line, and if you do look on the 4 hour, I think I skipped over this, we're still under most moving averages. So not that we're in bear town per se, but we're certainly not in a bullish breakout situation yet. I would say a solid closure of about 23.50 would put us in a good confirming scenario for AVAX, and that would be a much better time to consider a long position. Again, me personally, I like to trade with confirmation. We don't have confirmation we've broken out of this descending trend yet. Okay, just throwing it out there. Hope you learned something today. Comment below if you get a chance. Otherwise, join us over with Bitunix Phenomenal Exchange. Link down below for some awesome rewards. Use my link to register. And to all my community members, you're automatically eligible for this. So just go ahead and use the link or just log in. It'll be there available for you. No KYC or VPN if you're considering that. Thanks again so much for everyone. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Take care.